Hi, welcome to Bill's Bets and Beers. Uh, let's just get started with the introduction. My name's Chad, the host, and it's going to be a channel where it's mostly talking football, probably generally the Bills, since I'm a huge Bills fan, and also just putting in some bets weekly, just showing. So I usually like to do some 5 to 10 player prop, like player prop bets and go from there. Not put too much money, just like $5 to $10 on it. If I win, then I win. I win pretty big, but honestly, it's only going to be like even then like $400 to $500 on a $5 to $10 bet, but that's still pretty huge. And if I do start winning, then maybe you guys can start getting some money as well. That would be the hope. um, Also, going to be doing some tastings and ratings of some tasty brews around the area. Today we're going to be doing. I've never tried this one. I've always seen it at the stores. Some Pills Mafia. Obviously, got a couple for the game coming up on Thursday, but then that also gets into the topic. We're going to be doing record prediction. I'm sure you saw by the title of the video, but let's get going. So, obviously, it's going to start off on Thursday against the Rams. I think I'm going to have some trouble sleeping the next couple nights because I'm just so amped for it. But let's get going, anyways. Um, that game, I see it. I'm not gonna be giving a score prediction for anything else but the first one. But for the score prediction of the Rams game, I obviously see the Bills winning. I think it's gonna be really close in the beginning, maybe a takeaway or so from the Bills, and then it just kind of tilts in their favor. I see it being 38 to tw- uh, sorry, a 34-28 win. I don't think they're going to win by 7 to 10 over 10 points, but I think it's going to stay within that lower than 7 range, 7 or lower. Um, it's definitely going to be a very interesting game to see how those cornerbacks are going to work. So on to the next. That's going to be the Titans game. That's going to be a huge game. Big Monday night game. You got like 10 days between the first game to this game to prep for it. I think the Bills are still they're gonna end up beating the Titans, and it's gonna be awesome because I'm actually gonna be there. Got season tickets this year, so I might do some tailgating videos and stuff on that. So then it comes down to the Dolphins. We're gonna be down in Miami playing them. It's gonna be a little humid and stuff. Obviously, I think the Bills are gonna go down maybe a couple days in advance, just get used to the temperature change and all that stuff. But I still see them ending up beating the Dolphins, even with I think just it's gonna be too early for them. I think the Dolphins are gonna be a good team this year. They're probably gonna make the playoffs if the AFC West doesn't take all the spots. But uh, I do see them as being a good game, but the Bills are still gonna end up atop. Unfortunately, the for the Dolphins, Allen is kind of their daddy, so it's just that's how it's gonna go. Um, then we go over to down to the Ravens, play them at home there. It's gonna be that's gonna be one of the first game where well I can't say the first. With this production is gonna be with all that with the Bills actually being playing at their full potential. No one's injured, no big mistakes, things like that, where everyone shows up. So it may seem a little drastic when you see the full prediction, but I do see I still see the Bills beating Baltimore. It's gonna be interesting seeing if they can stay healthy for 4 weeks, the Ravens, and if they do, it's gonna be a really good game. I think it's gonna be similar to the playoff game where even though they lost Hollywood Brown, I still think it's they're gonna the defense is gonna focus on keeping Lamar in the pocket and not actually getting the sacks as much, just keeping him stuck in the middle in the pocket because then that's when you win the game against him because then they're gonna yes he's gonna have to pass, he's gonna make mistakes. So I see that being a very close game just because I think it's be very defensive oriented, but I see it being probably a 3 to 5 point game. It's probably coming down to like a field goal or having like being up by 7 points and them coming in, or 5 points and them coming in and have to get a touchdown and stopping it. Then Steelers come into town, and we're going to be facing well, actually, who knows what we're facing at quarterback at that point. I think it's still going to be Trubisky, but Pickett might have made the way in there at that point, depending on how they've been playing the first 4 weeks. I personally think that's going to be a decent revenge game. I mean, last year it wasn't huge, but that first game losing to them was pretty rough. Because if we would have had that game, which we should have had, then we would have been number one seed. I mean, there's a couple games that could have changed that, but that's still a big game for that. I see us winning that as well. So, I mean, like I said, it seems a little crazy. We're 5-0 at this point. So then we're going to go over and fly down to Kansas City. Definitely a huge revenge game. I think we're going to have a lot of the momentum going into that. And we're going to beat the Chiefs again at home. Obviously, we didn't do it in playoffs, but regular season, we're going to get it to another win. It's still going to be a decent game. I want to see how the Chiefs are going to play without Tyreek Hill up to that point, but I still think we're going to get it. Then we roll into our bye week on week 7, and then we shoot off. Well, we actually play at home against the Packers on week 8, and that's another game that I'm going to personally. I don't know all the games I'm going to, but I know I'm at least going to those two because those are the big ones. Those are the ones I can make money off selling, but those are the ones you want to go to. So, big Sunday night game there. It's going to be I think this is going to be a very tough game to win, but I still see the Bills coming out on top since they're coming off a bye week, and they generally come off a bye week strong. I mean, Sean McDermott and them are really good at keeping the boys always on their toes and ready to play, and usually not looking past someone or like not preparing enough. Especially with that much time, we're gonna have plenty of time to watch the film during the week. We're on bye week, so I think that's going to be a good game. But I still see us winning that, and then that'll put us at 7-0. And then we go down to the Meadowlands and face the Jets. I still think Jets had improved at this point. It'd be interesting to see what they're at during week 9, but I still think the Jets are going to lose. I see us sweeping the Jets. Then it goes to week 10, and that's when we face the Vikings at home as well. So for that game, I see the Bills beat. Actually, I'm gonna double check because I got some notes first time. Yep. Week 10, we face the Vikings at home, and that's the game that I see the Bills losing. I think it's just it's one of those overlooked games. I don't think we're actually overlooking them. I personally just think the Bills are gonna be rolling high, beat the Packers, ran through the Jets, and not overlooking, but just I mean, Justin Jefferson's a beast, and he's got a good 1A, a 1B over there as well with him. I mean, and Delvin Cook, and I mean, they're just nasty over there. I think they have enough weapons. I think the defense will be interesting. I still think they're going to play pretty well on defense. I mean, I just see it being a game where like they kind of like just overlook them just a little bit. Not, it's just the one they're going to drop. It's going to be very close. It's going to come down to the end. But I just think they just get a really slow start to the game, and they never bounce back fully to actually get the lead at this point. So that's gonna be as 9-1, and then we shoot over. Oh no! Then the Browns come into town the next week, and we face not the Deshaun Watson led ones, but which is going to be a big point why we win that game. I think it's kind of going to be a challenge. I mean, obviously, we don't know what our run defense is going to look like at this point, but I think we'll be good enough to stop what they're going to put towards us, especially with the quarterbacking difference between Josh Allen and Brissett or whoever they're going to have playing quarterback at that point. I think it's going to be an easy one for the Bills. Then after the Bills, they shoot down to the Lions on Thanksgiving. So it's gonna be a short week for us. But having the Bills record with on Thanksgiving games the past couple of years, I see us adding another notch in our belt and beating the Lions. I think the Lions are going to be a really good team this year. I think a good bet would be the Lions the covering that first game against the Eagles. That's going to be something I might be looking at just to see how much it would actually benefit. Like what's the plus or minus on that? I don't know what it's going to give us, but I'm guessing to be like at least plus 300 for them for you taking them to cover. It's like 3.5 points at this moment, so I think that even Vegas see it's being a close game, but I see us beating them on the early part of Thanksgiving. Then it gives you a good feeling going towards the rest of the night. I know I've had a lot of good Thanksgivings because the Bills have been winning on those days. Um, then after that, we shoot over to the Patriots, playing them over in Gillette, and honestly, we're gonna win that game as well. It seems crazy to think that we're gonna be only a one loss by week 13, but that's just how it's gonna go at this point. It's just gonna just keep getting better. Um, then then the Jets come into town week 14, and honestly, the Jets, like I said, we're just sweeping them. I think they have a really good team. I think their defense is going to surprise us a little bit. But all in all, I don't think they're going to be able to handle Josh Allen and the wide receivers and everything that we have. And our defense is going to keep Wilson in check enough. So I just don't see them winning any of those games. Then Miami comes into town right after that, and we're going to sweep Miami as well. I think Tyreek is still going to get his yards here and there because Tua's just going to do the quick drop offs to him. He may catch a 30 to 40-yard ball, maybe once on us this year. But by that point, we'll have Trey White back and he'll be in full swing. Even if he takes till week 8 to get him in, it's just going to be a wrap. We're gonna definitely get 2 wins on the Dolphins this year. Then we shoot down to the Bears, down in Chicago, and we're gonna handle the Bears. The Bears are gonna be one of the worst teams this year, unless they have a massive upswing, which is I don't see it coming. But the Bears aren't going to be winning really more than 5 or 6 games of this throughout the whole year, and the Bills aren't going to be one of them. The Bills already lost one game they shouldn't have at this point, so can't lose anymore. Then we go down to the Bengals on Cincinnati, and it's going to be a good game. I think it's going to be what could have happened. What I was hoping for, because I got a buddy who's a Bengals fan, so I was hoping to watch that AFC Championship game in Buffalo with both our teams playing last year, but didn't happen. I see us winning that game as well. I think it's be very competitive, like very high scoring, like both teams in the 30s, high 30s. I think it's going to come down to a last minute field goal by Bass, and because they got really good wide receivers over there. So I think it's just going to be a pretty good competition for us. Then the Patriots come into Buffalo week 18, and by that point, we would have everything wrapped up. We're not going to get the perfect season, and I just think we throw all our backups in, not want getting anyone hurt before we get our bye week and everything. Maybe let them play. Maybe if you don't want them to get like, I don't know, like too not relaxed, but like out of the groove, let them play one thing in one set in the beginning of the game, but honestly, nothing more than that. So I think we're gonna lose that, bringing us to a 15-2 record at this point. So seems crazy. That's if everything goes right, everything's healthy, if they play to their potential and all that stuff. But that's why I would put that as my ceiling. If things go awry a little bit and knock on wood, things don't go super smooth. We start the year off pretty slow. I mean, there's a rough patch in the beginning. I can Like I'm honestly being Bills fan, I want them to win that Rams game. I think they can. I think they're going to. But there's definitely a future where they don't. So I see that game being like 50-50. I think it's going to be very defensive, and whatever offense or whatever defense takes advantage of getting those takeaways is going to determine that game. So I personally think that could be a game we might lose. And also that Bengals game. I think, and there's a couple other ones like the Ravens could be really close and stuff like that. So that would bring us to like I think our floor is like a like a 13-4, 12-5 at the lowest. So I don't see us going any lower than that personally. If we do, there's a huge issue, and it's not gonna be pretty. It's like Josh Allen going down issue. Okay, so that's gonna wrap that up. I'll throw my option that my what I chose in the bottom of the screen so everyone can see it. If you missed anything from the beginning and you're confused how I got the 15-2, it's down there right now. And let's go into the next section, which is gonna be I'll keep that up there for a minute, probably 10 seconds, just so it shows up final prediction. It's gonna be our brew tasting and rating section. So got the Pills Mafia right here. Want to keep that nice little crisp sound in the video, so we know what it is. There's gonna be a couple factors when it comes into rating these beers. Um, Obviously, it's just a Pilsner, so I'm a little bit more of an IPA fan, but for game days, I do like a Pilsner or like a light beer, just so you can drink plenty of them, not get too full, and get in the game feeling nice. And if I start drinking too many of those IPAs, it's gonna be it's like drinking liquor straight. So, first rating, going off of like I'm gonna say go off of color. It's a nice color, not too big of a head on it. I don't know how I poured it, but just average. I would give it out of 10, like a 6. I mean, it just looks honestly almost like, with how bubbly it is. It could be like like not like a ginger ale, but some sort of like soda. I'll just give it a quick taste. Pretty average. I do like it tastes good. I think it's definitely a little bit better than like a Bud Heavy or just any of the average light beers because I think it's only 4.9%. So you're maybe getting an extra zero point 0.4 compared to the rest. So I would say I'm gonna write it down real quick so I have it. So I'd say about like a 5 for color, just because it's average. Taste, same thing. It's gonna be like I'll give it like a 6.1, just because it's better. It's like a Bud Heavy, anything like that. It's not anything special. But honestly, this the big thing is gonna be like the drinkability of it. Honestly, this beer tastes just like nice. Just tastes like a nice smooth beer. Goes on smooth, easy to chug if you wanted to. But for the price of it, for a 4 pack for $10, since it's a local brew out of Buffalo, and plus it has the Bills logos and everything on it. I mean, that ramps up the price a little bit. So you're not gonna be drinking like 12 of these on a game day. You're gonna go get a Labatt, either uh, Labatt Blue Light or just Labatt Blue or whatever you're drinking. You're just gonna get a cheaper pack where you can get 30 beers for the price of like 8 of those. So drinkability, I'll give it. Drinkability is good because it goes down smooth. I'll give that like a 6.5. But for binge ability, like where you're gonna drink multiple beers like during a tailgate, just going off the price, I'm gonna put it more towards like a 3, just because it's just so. It's just for me, it's a little out of my price range. And can design, I mean, get all those. Yeah, Poncho and all them on there. You gotta. Can designer giving it 11 out of 10. Um, and that's gonna be it with that. Now, last section, just to and just wrap this up a little bit. It's gonna be just upcoming videos. I'm gonna be dropping a video in the next couple day or two. Just like a couple of videos I want to get done, but before the season starts, so I got like no time. But so basically, no editing. That's why I gotta love these banners. I'm gonna be doing some betting videos coming up. So like for like future bets for like predictions of the season, and then also I'm gonna be doing my player prop bets for the Thursday night game and player prop bets for the Sunday coming up. So I might do that player props on like a Saturday or drop it on like a Friday or Saturday for the Sunday game. But for the Thursday game, I'll at least put some player prop bets up. Probably make it a pretty good parlay. Just put $5 down. If I win, I win. If I don't, I don't. I don't really get too much into that. Um, and yeah, I'm gonna be just dropping more videos hopefully and get more comfortable with this. Uh, that's pretty much it at this point. Go Bills.